So on the Audio 5, I'm going to do the exact same style, okay? Celebrate. And I'm going to show you something interesting. Again, some of these song styles were originally created for and on the Audio series. So there's some unique things that we have that are exclusive to the Audio series, which we'll talk about as we progress with our demonstration. So here we go. Feel the punch. I'm going to explain to you later why it sounds that much more punchy on the Audio than it does on the SD9. Listen to the AjamSonic sounds. That's the entire intro right there, as you can see on the screen. Still playing the intro before it goes into variation A. The riff. Here we go. So let me get into the demonstration or the explanation as to why we're hearing this much more on the Audio than on the SD. Like I said before, these styles initially were designed with the Audio and for the Audio. If you look at the screen, and let me take you to the screen real quick, you will notice that the styles also have different variations of them. So I was playing the Celebrate right there. The next part tells you the key of the song. And next to that, you see GR, which is a groove, okay? So that groove tells me that the style that we're working with, okay, this style is actually has a groove audio drum in it, not the MIDI drum, okay? So the version that's available on the SD series is the first one here, which you have the Celebrate with the key and R, which stands for riff. So if I play it right now, listen to this. This is the riff with this style version over here. That's the version that you have on the SD series, okay, with the actual MIDI drums. The groove version MIDI version, MIDI. So you can hear, if I take out the arrangement, listen to those drums. This is the MIDI style. This is the MIDI version of that style playing right here. This is the live drum version, which the Audio series has. So you can see Celebrate, it has two Celebrates. The first one right here, which is selected, it tells you that the style is Celebrate. A flat is the key in which the style was written, and R stands for the riff, which means variation D will have a riff, which is a chord progression of that particular song, okay? The next one you see celebrate, you see the key, you see GR, which is a groove, which means that it's an audio groove, a live drum, which is being used in this version of the style. These are two different styles, but written for that particular song. And so in the Audya, the song styles have the groove, and that groove is what gives that extra punch to the style, okay, versus the MIDI version of that. Now, not only that, another interesting thing unique to the Audya is when you enter the riff, again, we had the riff styles for the SD5, and those went into the Audya, some of them. When you get into the riff mode, the first bar of the riff, the first measure of the riff, you can change the chord. So it allows you to key in what chord you want to play or what chord you're playing the riff in. Once that bar is complete, the rest of the other bars are locked, which means that you can play freestyle on the keyboard and they shall not have any chord changes. Let me demonstrate that to you. So right now, if I did this in the first bar, you see, I changed the chord in there. But now, no matter what I play, that chord cannot change, okay? But if I want to change the chord while I'm playing, I have to hit the fill-in button and bring the chord in. Let go of the fill, and the chord is locked. So in other words, the arranger ignores any chord that you play on the arrangement, on the keyboard, once the first bar is over, okay? So when we designed these styles, especially with the Audya in mind, we added some little intriguing things in there. Because sometimes an artist may want to key in a chord and change, and then lock it. In other words, have the riff or have the chorus of that song play in a different key from the original key if you wanted to. So there's that flexibility. The first measure allows you to key in whatever value you want to do, and then it locks after that, and you can now do freestyle. If you still want to do that, we allow you to do that with the fill-in button. So if I press the fill, I can change, it unlocks the arranger to accept any chord progression. So, first bar is over, I cannot change anymore. The left hand is right now non-responsive. But if I want to change the chord for real, I can press the fill and change the chord, right? Now I'm in F. I want to do it in G, press the fill. Back to C. And once the measure is over, doesn't matter what I change, the chord does not change. Now that's the very useful function that's exclusive to the Audya series, what I just showed you over there. Now also, if I go into the MIDI version of that, okay, of that style, again, we spoke about the drums on the SD, being able to take out and bring back drum parts. The same can be done here, but we have a very nice tool here on the left-hand side, these 16 buttons that you have on the SD series right here, sorry, on the Audya series, right? These buttons are actually programmable. So if I go, I can make these to be my drum on and off, or if you see the top of the strip right there, it tells you what the default functions are for these buttons. Filter end, re-intro, lyrics on, lead voice on and off, and unplugged. Those are the default settings for these buttons. But if I go into mode, and I'll take you to the screen real quick, I can either have these be as default, or I can have them act as drum on and off. This is the fast way for me to be able to access my different drum parts, okay? And if I do that, if they can act as drum on and off, they can also act as GM page, okay? 16 different GM channels when you're playing a MIDI file. They can also act like your Arabic scale tuner, okay? So the Audya 5 does have an Arabic scale which can be assigned to these buttons as well, okay? Or I can make it assignable, just as I did with the foot switch pedal. And I can program these buttons for different tasks and different functions. I can also make this my playlist, so I can have a playlist assigned to the first one, another one assigned, within a playlist, I can have a song assigned to this button, another one assigned to that one, or I can go back to the factory, which is what is listed over here on the top of that. So I'm going to, for this demonstration, go to drum on and off, okay? And when I do that, I'm going to go back to that particular style, and I'm going to play it, and you're going to see how I can take out the kick drum, the snare drum, the hand claps, just by the push of a button. Let's play the style again in the riff and listen to this. No more kick drum. Bring back the kick right there. So you see the buttons? I took out all the drum parts. Bring the snare and the hi-hat. Take it out. Bring the kick drum back in. Hand clap. Bring the snare back in. Take out the kick. Here we go. Fill. So this is very interesting because at your fingertips, you can actually control different elements of that particular style, even though it is a song style. So you can check out the KETRON website. I'm going to leave a description below as to the name of that pen drive, which has those particular styles in question. So we just heard the one Celebrate. There are many, many styles on that particular stick I can demonstrate and go into, okay? All Night Long, for an example, is over there as well, too. And Born to Be, we have a whole bunch of them. And they're all named after the particular styles from which they were derived from. So I'm going to go in and listen to another one that's popular, for an example. Don't Stop, okay, with the groove. Let's listen to the intro and the variation. Play along. Your riff right there. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that's right. So those are all built into the style, okay? And it again allows you to be able to really do a lot of things with these styles. Now, if you play some of the stuff that was written back in the days with Motown, I mean, you really get the feeling, the horns, the saxophone, the trumpet, and the guitars, and the intriguing parts of those particular songs, the bass lines, okay? See? So such styles that have a unique bass line, this is where the riff comes in, and having the song style, because the song is actually the real thing, the real song itself. It's like having a real bass player play behind you. That's your ending right there. I mean, just feel the style, feel the energy, and that's also thanks to the Audya, which is using its groove within those particular style parts. And again, like I said before, there's some sweet bells and whistles underneath the hood of the Audya series, which a lot of people have not yet discovered. If I go in, again, if you look at the screen real quick, you see that all these styles have an R at the end. That R means that there's a riff function, and that's what tells you that when you go to arrange your D, you're going to actually hear the some of the chord progressions of that particular song in that performance. Let's listen to September, for example. That's the MIDI version of the style which you have on the SD series. This is the audio version of that style on the Audya. Notice I am not playing intentionally, so I don't want to confuse people. I'm not playing because I want you to hear this coming from the machine itself, from the Audya itself, and also to understand or to better understand the riff function. Otherwise, people get confused. What part am I playing and what part is the keyboard doing? Right now, the keyboard is pretty much doing everything, and I'm just trying to demonstrate for you some of these styles, okay? Let me go to a very unique style that we did with the AjamSonic package. And this is a song that a lot of people that listen to songs of the 80s will definitely appreciate in this tune right here. If I can pick nice solemn style.